recording.
Okay.
Today we have Rowan Jang, and today is a very special interview, actually. And Rowan, I'm so happy to have you on. We have tried to connect with you before because your projects that you were putting out, everybody in Vancouver was posting about them on social media, trying to get in on them. So that's kind of how we first saw you. And you worked with Bruce Blain, actually, the late, unfortunately, Bruce Blain as late, very recently.
Yes, yeah. Well, first of all, thank you very much for having me here. It's my pleasure to be here. We did talk about doing an interview a while ago.
Yeah.
The timing didn't line up, but I'm happy to be here today to talk about some of the work I've been doing and also to honor Bruce Blain, who was an incredible actor and mentor and friend.
Yes. So we, as Rowan put it on his social media just today, he is sharing some of his own stories and talking about why it is so important for emerging artists to receive mentorship and support. And I love that that is a thing on your mind because you're a young gentleman, you're a producer, you've been an actor. You're quite popular on social media. Actually, you get lots of likes and comments and stuff when you put out your own projects. You were mentored, obviously, by Bruce Blain. He was an acting coach as well. Let's get into, just before we talk about how you're of some really cool screening opportunities and you really bring people together. I see that with your mixers and stuff on social media. Like, I am coming to that. The next one that's
Awesome.
Available in person.
Yes, would love to have you there.
Oh, yes, I would love to. Oh, I've got a little pup. So
it wouldn't be a proper Zoom interview without the pet interruption. I love it.
I think everybody has a pet and they just like try to hide it. And I'm like, hey, if they make a noise, let it be known.
Yeah, for sure.
Anyways, more about you and Bruce. You guys have obviously shared a lot together and he supported you in many ways.
Yeah,
how did you guys meet?
So Bruce Blain, I actually I started acting just out of high school, but I graduated more into producing by the time I had met Bruce. So sadly, I never got the chance to be coached by him, but friends of mine who are actors said his coaching was the best they had ever received. I actually met Bruce Blain at an Oscar party. An amazing filmmaker and director and figure in the community, Jeffery Lando, traditionally hosts a yearly Oscars party night with Oscars bingo, where you try and guess who's going to win what. So it's super fun. I met Bruce at one of those parties, and obviously he instantly stuck out in my mind. If anyone who knew Bruce Blain is listening, he was a larger than life figure, very outspoken guy, never afraid of being honest about his opinions and feelings about things. And he kicked my ass in Oscars bingo. I stood no chance when he was in the mix. So he stuck in my mind from there. I next ran into him at the Run and Gun screening a couple years ago, where
the 48-hour film challenge community.
The 48-hour film challenge, where you make a film in 48 hours. It's an amazing event, a staple of Vancouver film. He had the film Mad Santa, the first one in that competition. And basically, if you were at that, you remember that he basically shouted his way to Audience Choice Award. And no one could blame him. We started talking from there. We occasionally communicated after, but it was only in the sadly final few months of his life that we really started working together.
On his own project that he'd been working on for a long time, I think.
On Real Productions. So he had started the class Auditioning 101, which was a standard on-camera audition class that was very well received, but something he had always wanted to do was make a demo reel service, creating new and young actors demo reels that was not just against a blue screen or green screen, or not just against a wall, but was actually in a set with multiple actors and performances and creating a realistic scene. And as someone who cast, like I run casting sometimes, and that was a very interesting idea to me, because often those classroom style self-tape demos are a bit distracting. The quality is too poor. So creating an actual quality demo scene was something I was very interested in. And Real Productions is the company he ran with Ambrose Gardner. And yeah, it's an amazing service for young actors. And speaking with Ambrose, it sounds like that even though Bruce is gone, there are plans for it to continue, which I'm very excited about.
Yes, I heard in how we first got a hold of Rowan to talk about Bruce and his life and in his influence with the next generation of artists was that we saw this beautiful post that you had made, and you really describe everything in the I'm Here With mag.com website. We're going to put what you put for everybody to see. You had put a lot of time into your post explaining what you've been a part of with him, and that you had mentioned that Ambrose is going to be putting a memorial video together. That is so, that is what I'm talking about, you guys. I love that you're young and you guys are really thinking about this kind of deep stuff about honoring people's life, because doesn't this shake you a little bit? Like, we knew him. We had just talked to him like weeks ago or whatever. And the last conversation that I unfortunately had was he said, "Hey, how come you didn't put up that post about me yet?" I said, "You didn't give me pictures yet, honey." I said,
Oh
"We need
yeah.
to do a shoot with my friend Ryan first, you know?" And I said, "Well, I could use them." And I had sent him a few links that we had done for a Riverdale podcast. And then I
Yeah.
sent that to him and he said, "Oh, I didn't even know you put this out. I'm so happy." I said, "We'll put something out soon." And then, you know, literally I had messaged him probably a few days later saying, "Hey, I have an audition." And he didn't reply. And I was kind
Oh.
of wondering because like he was super into responding to that. I was like, "Oh, he's dead." Like it just didn't, it was so wild to me, you know, and I don't know him that well, but I'm Here With really wants to honor him because he was a kick-ass actor.
Oh,
He
he
was,
was.
oh, he was so serious, like almost too serious. He used to say, "Lighten up, have fun," you know. And he'd be like, "No, there's no, you got to be serious if you want to achieve this." And I was like, "Oh, okay." And he really supported and helped myself. And he also worked with another cover star of mine before to help. And we did his class. I paid him to do it. And he kicked my butt into gear. He said it how it was, you guys. If anybody knows Bruce, he was so blunt. And a few times I was like, "How can he say that?" And then I'd be like, "Yeah, I suck. I'm not very good. I need to get better." And he made a difference for me. I landed multiple roles after my classes with him. When I do the audition properly, the way he taught me, I land them. So for me, I'm Here With Jill Maria. That is my words for him. He was so amazing. And I'm so glad that you guys are doing a memorial. What is that going to look like? Who can be a part of it?
Well, so there's a memorial that's happening on Sunday, June 6th, that's open to the public. It's being hosted by four of us, actually, myself, and Corey Chadwick Malone, who's a good friend of Bruce and was doing a headshot photography for the actors at Real Productions. Ambrose, his business partner, is going to be there, and Joel McCarthy, who runs the 48-hour film competition, is going to be there. And so me with those three are the co-hosts. It is open to anyone who cares to join, and celebrate his life. I didn't know much about Bruce's personal life or his family life, but it turns out he had a daughter, and she'll be joining us there on Sunday, June 6th as well. In addition to that, the night before, Saturday, June 5th, I'm doing the next round of my monthly virtual film screening series. So we screen short films and have filmmaker Q&A. The Bruce Blain tribute video is going to play there as well. And we're also screening The Hidden, which I cast Bruce in. And that was one of his last on-screen roles. And he appeared in that film along with Thomas Nicholson, who you interviewed recently.
Yes, you saw that.
I did, yeah.
Is there any way that I could send you his audio that we did together? And if you want to look through it, there's some really great things he says that you could use for the audio for like the video or for parts. I mean, you can download it right off Apple. You can just click and download the footage. So I'll send that to you.
Yeah, please, we'd be happy to.
Whatever we can help, I'm not sure we can make it, but because I'm in Calgary at the time shooting my next issue, but I'm thinking like, oh, should I try to rush back to be a part of that? But
well, it's virtual, like it's all virtual.
Oh, well, then I will be a part of it.
Yeah,
so how can we tell the audience how they can be a part of this virtual?
Okay, so it's going to be basically a Zoom link like this. So I will share the Zoom link with you. I will share it everywhere. And hopefully anyone who is touched by his life can come and help celebrate it.
Oh my gosh. I'm just like want to cry, but I feel like it's not the time to cry, I'm not going to do that. But tell me more about you. You have been a producer behind the scenes of casting. That's how we met before. What is your passion? Like, where did you get this passion to share stories and put it together? Like, being a producer is the worst part of being in film. Oh my, it's the most work. Oh,
yeah.
You must love it. The papers, the analytics.
Yeah. No, I cannot believe that I'm a producer. I can't believe that that's what I fell into, but it was. I was born in Vancouver, and I grew up in a low-income housing co-op in East Van, basically, just off.
Look where you are now.
Woodland and East Fifth. Well, no, that's the spiritual home. Like I had a proper hippie upbringing,
Nice.
Surrounded by artists and the smell of weed. That was my childhood. I think I trace my love of storytelling, of film, of music, of all forms of entertainment and communication and art back to those times. And I went into acting after, right after school, actually, because I wasn't the best student in school. I had two big problems. Showing up was the first problem. I didn't show up to school very often. And the second problem,
doing?
Second problem was doing what I was told. Like I couldn't do it while I was there. But people told me I was like, I entertained people a lot. So people said I was going to be an actor. I didn't really think too much about it. I just sort of did it after high school. Went to school for it. Had some modest success. I was basically in a few indie films and like a one episode of Charmed. But
I thought I saw you.
Yeah, that was me. But then after that, I just working on film sets allowed me to develop my love of the process of filmmaking, and I was always seemed to be more interested in what was going on behind the camera than in front, to be honest. So I got into producing from there, and I didn't take any lessons or go to school for it. I just sort of found myself doing it and couldn't really do anything else once I started. I can't really explain it, but somehow I'm a producer. I started MiTribe Media about coming up on 5 years ago now. And essentially what we are is a platform for emerging artists to share their work.
That is so important. How on earth did you think about that while you're trying to do your own creation and put your own mark on the world? Like that, honestly didn't know that about you until today. And I'm blown away by that because so many people and filmmakers, they make a film and then it doesn't even go anywhere, especially if there's no funding. So
Yeah.
really, your platform that I've actually seen outside of knowing you before, is it's growing. And everybody's like, "Hey, I wanna be a part of this." I've seen a few I follow your page, MiTribe. Like, I love this MiTribe name. That's so cool. It's like, I wanna be a part of that. That's awesome. Where did you come up with
Yeah.
that name? And the way
So
it's spelled, I was like, looking at it first, I was like, Mitra My Tribe.
yeah,
Oh, My Tribe. Oh,
yeah.
that's so sweet.
No, it's a simple story. It's kind of funny. So I co-own MiTribe. My business partner Henry Corbett has been a friend of mine since grade one, since we were 6 years old. He was also a bad student along with me, but
That's who you're hanging out with when you weren't going to school.
yeah, yeah, there you go. And
Poor baby.
he got into writing and directing after high school, and he took the film program at CAP. And we got together to make a movie in 2016 called Dark Day and Night, which was supposed to be a student film. The school wouldn't actually fund it, so he had just decided to make it himself. And so I came along to help him out with that. And we worked really well together, and we were working with everyone on that team. It was their first or one of their first projects, and seeing everyone step up and do this work and take these chances that they never had the opportunity to do before was an incredibly rewarding experience. And it was something that we wanted to do again and again and again. And we came up with the idea, MiTribe. Um, MiTribe, very straightforward. We want
Yeah.
to emerging talent. We want to support the people who were like us at that stage. We were very new at that stage. We wanted to create a company to support emerging artists because that's what we were. The letter, well, we originally thought MY Tribe, straightforward, My Tribe, seemed kind of cheesy. I don't know. And so we had this idea that when we made the logo, it would be My Tribe, MI Tribe, and the dot on the I would have some like crazy third eye design type thing where it'd be like seeing into your soul, like
Third
art
eye or something.
waking up, third eye. Yeah, that never happened. We just sort of designed the logo and just forgot about that. So now it's MI, My Tribe.
Well, there you go. Well, good on you, for supporting others. I feel like not that many people your age are into that. So good for you. Where can people go to submit their project to you? Like they just go off the Facebook, there's an email. What is the process to submit?
To send something to me. So the main services I do are I cast independent films at an affordable rate for low budget projects. We screen films monthly at our virtual film screening series. And we, work on developing scripts if you need feedback for scripts. We occasionally take on projects that we'll work on, sometimes fund, although we can't take on every project as much as we would love to.
It's a business, guys. Come
Yeah.
on, he needs to get paid.
I know.
I hear you.
I wish I could take on every project.
Yeah.
And so if you want to send anything like that over, there's email is quite simply rowan@mitribemedia.com. And you can also contact us through our website, mitribemedia.com, or our Facebook page, MiTribe Media. So it's very straightforward. I'm happy to look at any projects really in film that anyone has. And we also have a separate music division, MiTribe Music, which we have a recording studio at our home office, and we work with emerging artists in all sorts of music genres as well. So if you want to record, feel free to reach out as well.
Rowan, I'm gonna be bugging you forever. You are like a tycoon of what you're doing. If you keep going, like you're like there already helping people, but like you're so young, you know how in film it takes time, right? To get
Yeah.
there. And I think you understand that. It sounds like you got a good head on your shoulders as a young film producer. I really wish you luck for the future, and I hope that we work together like more.
I hope so too. And in fact, it's not a hope, it's a determination. We're going to make it happen.
Well, I do a lot of things virtually on a I've been doing virtual before COVID happened because I can't be everywhere, right? I'm in Alberta, I'm in BC, I'm traveling for the things that have to be in person, but
Mhm.
we send our people to photo shoots. So
Ah,
after this interview, maybe I can connect you with our photographer Ryan Jensen, and maybe our
sure.
next round of photos. I would love to have you a part of our series.
Absolutely. I'd be happy to. Let me know anything you need whenever.
I will. I wanna for the audience, just before we go, because I could talk to you for like 2 hours. Oh my God. I'm like, tell me everything. How did you do
Yeah.
this? So cool. But I want to read a little bit about what you wrote about Bruce on your post 6 days ago. Okay. And this is for
Mhm.
even his daughter to hear. It just shows that people in this community do need another and do care and notice and hear another. And a lot of people feel like that maybe they're not, you know? Oh, the dog. It was just a weird feeling to me for what I do trying to help people in my way with the magazine. And how Bruce had said, "Hey, I want to be seen again." Is basically what he was saying to me. "Hey, I was hoping you're going to put that post out. Let's work on doing that kind of thing." And I felt like, wow, I didn't even think even Bruce was this kind of cared about anyone knowing about him or anything. And not saying he ever cared, but that comment, internally shows me that he did. And so I think it's so important to put people up, share their story, because you never know, guys, when, it's their time to go and then it's too late to work with them.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like if we should all have no expectations a little bit, our own boundaries, but our expectations and treating people nicely. This is a very big lesson to everyone that life is precious, guys, and to go for your dreams.
Yeah. Absolutely.
How,
Absolutely. Well
how
said.
do you how do you feel about going for your dreams? Before I read a little bit what you said, like your dream of being in the arts, it just kind of was there. It was always who you were, I think.
Yeah. Well, yes.
But but the dream of what you hope to achieve within this career now, and maybe later, what is that for you, for real?
People ask me questions like that sometimes, like, where do you see yourself in 10 years? And my answer is always, I see myself doing the same thing, but more.
Mm.
Um, I think, um, I think film, music, um, writing, novels, whatever, spoken word, radio plays, whatever it is, theater, um, it it has it's the only language that humans have come up with that is universal, that is something
The
that
art, yeah.
everyone kind of understands. You ever listen to a song, the lyrics are in a completely different language, but like you get it, though you still
Yeah,
understand it,
you feel it, yeah.
you feel it. It's the only thing that has that power. And if anyone out there, I mean, my dream is to do the same but more. But if there's anyone out there listening today who has this dream but hasn't taken the first steps towards achieving it yet, I just want to say that think about the time that the world just went through, where people were isolated, alone, cut off from their loved ones, unable to connect with them. And sometimes, sadly, as we lost some people, we lost Bruce, and many people have lost family, unable to gather properly in person to celebrate their lives. In difficult times like this, where have people turned to? They've turned to the arts. picture going through a quarantine without film, without music.
Oh,
You couldn't get through it without those things. So if you have the dream to pursue that as a career, just know that whatever anyone may says, it's as worthwhile a career pursuit as any other, and as essential a service as any I can think of.
thank you. The government of all the Canadian government should be listening to this interview. All right, put a better cap on.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. Thank you so much, Rowan Jang, for supporting this very special memorial chat about Bruce Blain. So
Oh, thank you.
6 days ago, you wrote, "Our industry has lost a titan, a brilliant actor, writer, mentor, and friend to many, myself included. I met Bruce Blain over 3 years ago at one of Jeffery Lando's famous Oscars night parties. He immediately stuck to me as a larger than life personality who was never afraid to speak his mind. I respect that and the fact that he kicked my ass at Oscar bingo. Over the next few years, I ran into him frequently at film industry events and would see his face pop up randomly on TV shows like Riverdale that were shot in town. He was clearly a consummate professional who had been making his living from acting since before you were even in high school. And he only got to meet him a few months before he had passed on a new project that he was casted him in. So thank you so much, Rowan. And the rest of the article that you wrote is going to be on I'm Here with Mag for everyone to see. And I'm Here with Apple Podcast and Spotify. So thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you very much. Have a wonderful day.
Rest in peace, Bruce Blain.
Rest in peace.